Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there on YouTube. I just wanted to get up on here and talk about an issue regarding relationships and sharing the same living space with the person that you're with. This is like my second video in, I'm guessing, about a week and a half. I think a week and a half ago was the last time I uploaded a video. Like I said, I am not really in the optimal position to really be making videos consistently. So for those of you who've been following me for years, bear with me. I try to put out videos as often as I can. I try to, be as consistent as I can. But I really don't have, access to a presentable space. And on top of that, I'm always busy. I'm constantly, going about my day-to-day life, with other things on my mind. So I'm not really, in the best position to be making videos consistently. But in this video, I'm just going to discuss the whole idea of, sharing a living space with the person you're seeing. Of course, as we know, if you're in a relationship with somebody, especially if it's a serious relationship where, a relationship where, both parties are probably planning on getting engaged, possibly looking forward towards getting married. Sorry about that. I don't know, whenever I see something disgusting, I just have to, let out a spit. It's just something psychological. Like, I see something disgusting, I'm like, oh God, that shit could be in my mouth. Or that crap could be in my mouth, sorry. I'm planning on, possibly monetizing my channel in the near future, so I gotta, be careful with the language. But like I was saying, people automatically assume that they're going to be living together if they get together and the relationship is on a serious level. When it gets to the engagement marriage stage, then of course, most likely you guys are living together. You guys are going to be together in the same home, the same apartment, wherever residence you guys are occupying. You're most likely going to be together. The thing is, with me personally, and I've come to kind of realize this over the last few years, that if I am ever to get into a relationship, a serious relationship, I'm kind of frightened by the idea of having to share the same living space with another person. And the reason why is because as humans, we all have our own wants and needs. Our personalities are constantly changing. Our moods are constantly changing. Well, I hope you guys can hear me. This plane's flying by. Our personalities and moods are constantly changing. Well, I mean, personality throughout your life, hopefully, usually personality is something that's static. It's some a lot of times it can be constant, while at other times it can, be changed and modified or molded due to life experiences. But there are certain aspects, of personality that may remain the same throughout your life. But moods, a person's mood changes, One minute they can be in a good mood, next minute they can be in a bad mood, next minute they can be have, mixed feeling. Like it's very fickle by nature. It's very fickle by nature, and especially women, they can be very moody at times. I'm not saying that there aren't good times, that you will have together. There aren't times that, you will appreciate and be grateful for. But you also have to put into account that with all the good, there's going to be some ugly. It's going to be some ugly. You can't always expect that you and your wife or you and your girlfriend are always going to see eye to eye. You can't always expect that you guys are gonna, agree on, on how it's gonna be, how things are gonna be, or what you want to do. You're not always gonna agree with that. So there's gonna have to be a level of compromise in any relationship, which is something that is something you have to really think about before you jump into any relationship. You have to know the person you're getting involved with, what they want out of life, what they want out of the relationship, and what you want, and what how you plan to go about handling being with a person like that. Like, for me, I've got things that I want to do, like I like to travel. I want to travel and see the country. And I would even go to places I've already been, if I really like the town, or like the city, or like the state, I would revisit it, and then spend probably like a week there, enjoy some time over there. But my wife or my girlfriend, they might not be up to that. They probably might want to be more stationary. They might want to, just settle down in one place, while I might want to be jumping from place to place. So if I were to get into a relationship with somebody, I would have to know, is that what they want? And sharing the same living space with somebody, you don't want to just go out. If you're a semi-nomad, you don't want to just take off and just leave your partner alone, because they're not gonna like it. That's the purpose of being in a relationship, to to be together and to engage in activities together. So, sorry, all these bugs around here. Summertime. So, it's, you know, it's like give and take. It's like, it's a give and take situation when you're sharing the same, you know, the same household with somebody. Another issue that you have to look at is personal space. Sometimes you may want your personal space to yourself, and you're not going to have it because your partner is with you. And this doesn't only have to apply to a relationship between a man and a woman. This could apply to a relationship between family members, between two friends that are probably roommating and renting an apartment. I mean, me personally, I would never roommate, you know, that's not my thing. If I ever get, like, if I have an apartment, I'd rather rent it on my own and live on my own, because I'm the type of person that loves, you know, their personal space and loves some time of solidarity. So roommating is out of the question for me. Even though in today's day and age, it's probably best to roommate because cost of living is just sky high, especially where I am. But you can this can apply to anything, any situation where you're finding yourself sharing a living space with another person. But the reason why I'm speaking of, particularly of relationships is because, well, I am a guy, you know, I would love to be in a relationship at some point, and if I, you know, happen to find a person that I can be in a relationship with, these are things that I know that I have to, you know, I have to put into consideration. Now, with all this said, the type of person that I would want to be with, I mean, which is, you know, of course, you know, rare that, you know, I'll want to share the same living space with a person who's not a blood relative. They would have to have nearly the same identical wants and needs, personality as me. that's all I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to put it. They would have to be nearly identical to me. And they would have to see eye to eye with me on a lot of things. Of course, nobody's obligated to, you know, agree with me on everything. You know, we're all human beings. We all have our own ideals, our own opinions. And, you know, that's fine. That's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm not expecting anybody I'm with to agree with me on everything. But certain major points, we have to see, you know, come eye to eye on. We have to come to, you know, to an agreement or some kind of, you know, kind of mature compromise, some kind of, you know, compromise where neither one of us are giving up like too much of what, you know, what we like. We can't be giving up too much of what we're like. Like, I like to travel, like I just said. If she may not like to travel as much, there has to be some compromise. Maybe, hey, like, we probably, I don't know. Honestly, that would be a tough one. That would honestly be a tough one for me. But it's mainly, you know, like mood swings and, you know, having to deal with, you know, human emotions, or especially females' emotions. Why, you know, I'm hesitant to want to move in with a female and, you know, and live with them. If, as of right now, if I'm to get into a relationship, I'd rather us just, you know, have our own separate living spaces, but, you know, we just stay close, you know, we just sorry, I'm waiting for the sprinkler to pass. I want to get past it without getting wet. See it? Yep, that's the sprinkler I'm trying to get past. Well, like I was saying, I would prefer to have a separate, you know, living space from the person that I'm with. I know that sounds unconventional. That doesn't sound like anything that, you know, most people would do, but that's just, you know, my view on things right now. I get into a relationship, I want to have my own space and they have their own space. We just call each other up on the phone, you know, we meet up with each other, and, you know, once, you know, the date night is over with, you know, we each go our separate ways back to our own places. That's how I want my relationship to be. Unless it's the very person that I described, where we are pretty much, you know, identical in our lifestyles and what, you know, how we view certain things. I mean, I hope I'm being very clear and concise in this video. Hope I'm being very clear and concise. Hope this, you know, is a high quality video, a high quality upload. I mean, I don't know if it is. Probably not, but I'm going to leave it at this. I'm not going to make this video too long and drawn out. Rather, you know, have me and my partner have our own separate living spaces. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you're coming across my video or my channels, my videos or my channel or my videos for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You know, let your friends and family know that, you know, Jaws Killerful is, you know, he's on YouTube, you know, he makes videos, and you guys stay safe, stay healthy, get wealthy, be easy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys have a good one. Peace.